Riley and Scott, and here in the studio with us, it's our friend Mike Dunn. How are you, sir?
Good morning, guys.
Let me move this down so you're more comfortable.
All right, good morning, everyone.
There we go. How's everything going? You've been busy.
Well, you know what? For what started out to be a not very nice year, it's getting pretty good right now.
Yeah, boy, you look at headlines like you're looking at this morning, could reach 1,000 jobs.
Yeah, that kind of surprised us, although our intel was telling us that Mr. Storch and AAR had big plans for Rockford. You know, the numbers that we'd been used to all the way along the line were 500 jobs by the end of, or somewhere in year two. And when he answered media questions yesterday and stated that he would be very disappointed if AAR was not at 1,000 jobs fairly soon, he would be, again, disappointed. So, you know, that caught us a little by surprise, but good news, good surprise.
And, you know, the groundwork has been laid so nicely for something like this.
Well, it has been. You know, Rockford Airport has such a terrific infrastructure, and we've been working on, actually, the first meeting we had with AAR was January 3rd, 2012. So we've been working on this for over 2.5 years, and, you know, in that 2.5 years, not only were there discussions with AAR, but we also had a lot of discussions with the governor and Senator Durbin, the mayor and the county board chairman, building this partnership that we have.
So tell people a little bit about how it came about. You say 2012 is when first discussion was, and certainly at some point things get more serious. And there were a couple of other cities, we understand,
right,
other locations in the running. What was that process like?
And who called who first?
We called AAR, and you know, this is really ironic. I mean, it's kind of a neat story if you can follow it. But originally, our mission out there when I arrived back as executive director was cargo, and the cargo people who had flown many successful flights in and out of Rockford, successful being defined as money saving to them, said, you know, the only thing you're lacking right now is a maintenance operation. When our planes get in from Japan or Taiwan or wherever they may be coming from, it would be nice to be able to have them worked on while they're on the ground versus having to fly them someplace. And again, like a lot of manufacturing, these types of jobs and these types of services have been overseas, and they're now being reshored back into the United States. So we reached out to AAR based on our discussions with the cargo guys and said, we'd like to talk to you about a maintenance operation. Now, we were at a little sounds weird, but we've been at a disadvantage in that we're the 7th AAR operation in the United States, and their other operations were all existing buildings, you know, that they bought from airlines. Like up in Duluth, it was Northwest Maintenance Facility. Indianapolis was United's. Oklahoma City was American's. And we were competing against those operations where AAR was used to going in and buying buildings for 5 or 10 cents on the dollar. We have to produce new buildings. Now, the advantage to AAR is that they are new buildings, but the disadvantage is the cost. Today's cost to build those buildings versus we don't have any of those kind of old buildings on the airport that would accommodate these types of airplanes.
And you're talking some serious floor space here.
Oh yeah, we're going to build 2 hangars, each 90,000 square feet. That's a big building, and each 9.5 stories high.
Not to mention the office facilities as well.
Then another 20,000 square feet of office/warehouse on the side. So, you know, those hangars will accommodate any airplane that's flying, you know, in the world today. And so to give everybody a perspective, in each hangar, you can put one 747-8, you could put 4 737s inside, or you can put 2 757s inside. It's a lot of floor space.
Yeah.
Big footprint.
Mike Dunn with us here, Rockford Airport Executive Director, Riley and Scott on WROK. So, now I don't want to be pessimistic here, but there are people hear big announcements, and that sometimes they fall through. Sometimes I'll believe it when I see it, when the shovel hits the dirt, those sorts of things. What is the certainty that everything's going through on this project?
Well, my big announcements don't.
That happens to other people.
Yeah, not me.
That happens to other folks. Okay,
it's a fair question. It's a fair question. I would say the certainty of this deal is very strong. I mean, I don't anticipate us. I believe we'll be under construction in the spring of 2015, which is only 6 short months away. And we'll be delivering that building hopefully in 2015, those buildings in 2015 or 2016 very early. The construction opportunity, the jobs in the construction industry, which I'm very pleased about, are going to be huge, and then the permanent jobs in the facility will be terrific.
I was going to ask you about that. The permanent jobs in the facility. This is going to be something really outstanding for this region.
Yeah, and I remind you that this is why the Rock Valley conversation was so very important to us, or this first Rock Valley, then Spartan, then back to Rock Valley again, and why I always try to take the time to commend Rock Valley College for stepping up to the plate, President Mastriani and their board over there, because we learned early on in our discussions with AAR that labor flow was very, very important. In order to work on an aircraft in the United States, be it a single-engine Cessna or a 747, you must possess what they call a A&P certificate. And Rock Valley College has a school, and has had a school for decades out there, that produced terrific students, but just, in our opinion, not enough. It was only 25 or 30 students, and they're now committed to go to 150. And when we were able to talk to AAR about moving Rock Valley College's program, which exists already on the airport in about a 10,000 square foot facility, that we were going to move Rock Valley over across the field right next door to AAR into a 40,000 square foot facility and graduate 150 students a year, that really got their attention.
And look at the tangible benefit for those who are studying, and you're studying right next door to what's going on there, where you ultimately hope to be.
Well, the thing that I was very excited about, and I've had this discussion with Mr. Gendron from Woodward and the folks up at Utah's Sunstrand. In my old days in Rockford was Sunstrand, but it's great that we have young men and women going on to four-year schools. I applaud that, and getting law degrees or medical degrees or engineering degrees. I think that's terrific. But I always worry about the kids left behind here in this community that aren't going to a four-year school. And this is a great opportunity for the men and women, young boys and girls, young men and women from our community, to go to Rock Valley College and spend a year there, maybe 2, or depending on the high school district you come from, and get that 2-year certificate and walk right across the parking lot and go right to work for a quality company paying great wages, $50,000 a year start package for these kids.
That's a nice eye-opener.
Yeah, we're very excited about that. And it's a quality company. I mean, just a terrific company.
When, correct me if I'm wrong, that's what you're here for.
I would never do that. I'd play along like you were right.
And then tell me off the air.
What the hell?
My understanding is AAR eventually, they actually will be leasing the facility. So once all is said and done and things are built, who officially will own it? And then what does the lease look like? Is that signed? How long is that for with AAR?
Yes, we have a lease agreement put together with AAR. The facility will be owned by the Rockford Airport Authority, and we will then lease it back to AAR, and we have a 10-year lease in place with them. So that's very exciting.
Absolutely. I know you're about spreading the credit around and sharing a little bit. Now, as much as we'd love to say, Mike Dunn pulled this off single-handedly, there were a couple other hands in there.
Absolutely. Well, I would just tell you, folks, and your listeners ought to be very, very proud of the airport staff. I mean, the airport staff did just a remarkable job. And then beyond that, once we get past the staff, I've already mentioned Rock Valley College. That was just huge. And since President Mastriani, Mike Mastriani, has taken over there, and they have a fairly new board, their board and Mike were just wonderful to work with, and that was, as I've stated, a very key ingredient in this. And then we moved to our real big partners on this deal, Governor Quinn and Senator Durbin. And, Senator Durbin, we've been working with him at the airport for 20 years, and he's been absolutely phenomenal and has a great passion for our airport. And Governor Quinn stepped right up to the plate immediately on this. I've been talking to Governor Quinn face-to-face for about 2 years now, and he never balked at this project at all. And he's also been very good to the airport and to the airport authority. So, and then the mayor, of course, and the county and the city council and the county board members. We've been dealing directly with Chairman Christensen and Mayor Morrissey, both who are absolutely committed to and strong advocates for this airport. And we've also been working directly with aldermen and county board members through the mayor and through the county board chairman to get them excited. So this is like the Falcon Road Airport Road project, which was a 5-way partnership. And finally, I think we're going to see Falcon Road done this year, this season yet before the snow starts flying. And then we have the same partnership with the feds, the state, the city, the county, and the airport, all contributing dollars to this project.
Mike Dunn with us, Airport Executive Director. It's Riley and Scot on WROK. You have a grand vision for where you want the airport to go. You mentioned previously that the cargo, people were saying this is something that would help, this is something that you're missing. Now it'll be in place 2016. When it opens and it's available, does that make it easier for you to achieve your long-term goals for the airport, whether that be more passenger or cargo expansion, whatever that might be? What does that do for your vision for the airport?
Well, I believe so. I mean, it's, even when I was chairman and Bob was the executive director, it's always been a tough road to go for Rockford to compete with, both O'Hare, Midway, and Milwaukee. I heard the commercial for Milwaukee before I came in, and which I'd never want to hear again, by the way.
Yeah, we're trying to stop it, but, we just couldn't.
But anyway, the Rockford's passenger days are ahead of us. And, we're very fortunate to have one of the most profitable airlines and financially solid airlines in the world right now, working out of Rockford, which is Allegiant. And Allegiant, by the way, does maintenance with AAR. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of nice. But the cargo, we think, is the next step in to answer your question. And we believe that by having this MRO here, it's a big tool in our pouch to be able to go out and speak to the cargo guys and say to them, look what we have here. Now when your planes come in from, the Far East and they land here, we can truck that freight too. And frankly, on all the test flights that we've done at the airport, we can unload a plane, truck it to Chicago Distribution Center and the suburbs faster than they can get it out of O'Hare and over there. And I remind everybody, and I always love to tell the story and people's eyes light up, but the Russian Antonov that's been in here several times, mm-hmm. 3 of the times that they were in here, which is the second largest airplane in the world, 3 of those flights that came into Rockford had machinery for a company in Elk Grove Village, which is 1.5 miles off of O'Hare. And they found it easier to come into Rockford, unload, and truck the stuff to Elk Grove Village than screwing around with O'Hare. And I don't think that's going to get any better. So that's an advantage to us, yeah.
And what a magnificent airplane that is, too.
Yeah.
Having been out there to see that thing land. Wow.
So I hate to break up the good feelings here. Not that I will. But Piatone, the governor was talking about it again recently.
I love the expression.
Listen, are we ever going to get to a point where people realize what we have here and we don't need, since no one wants it anyway, for the most part, that airport down there?
Yeah.
Well, I can't sit here and say anything bad about Governor Quinn or the Illinois Department of Transportation because they've been absolutely fabulous to us. He has, and they have. But, I will tell you this, I stopped worrying about Piatone because I can't control it. And I started worrying about promoting Rockford. Mm-hmm. And, again, I will repeat, Governor Quinn has been as positive about Rockford Airport as anybody. And he's been very supportive of Rockford.
Okay.
Let me make sure I got this right. I come in here to talk to you guys, which I love doing, and you're playing a Milwaukee Airport commercial before I come in, and O'Neill's wearing a Cubs jersey in front of me.
Yeah, I'll wear it in front of anybody, by the way.
Yeah. You won't change it for me. I mean,
I'm not changing it for anybody.
I'll bring you a socks one day. How's that?
Well, I could wipe something with it, I'm sure.
Oh, boy, that hurts.
Uh-huh.
That hurts.
See, I never critique your wardrobe. I'm nothing but welcoming and respectful. And here you are all over me about a Cubs spring
I got to sit here and look across the table at that.
Yeah, and it's big and brightly colored, too, huh? Well worth the trip to come in here. You'll come back and give us
I'd love to come back anytime, like Very exciting news. We're very thrilled. The airport's extremely pleased and happy, and this is kind of a dream come true for us.
You want to just schedule it now for the next real big announcement? When is that, next month, 2 months from now?
I think we may have another one coming, so I'm just going to stay quiet right now.
All right.
And it's like I said to you off the air, and hell, I will say it on the air, you have enhanced your reputation as a man who gets things accomplished. Congratulations. Well done. We're glad that you're around doing these things.
Well, I have a little sign on my desk that I look at all the time, and it's a great quote. And it says, "Sometimes it's kind of fun to do the impossible." And that was by Walt Disney.
Yeah. Well, there you go, and we're reaping the benefits of it as you continue to see the growth out there at RFD. Fly RFD, by the way. Forget that commercial you heard earlier. Fly RFD. See, there's a live commercial.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. You didn't even have to read it.
Follow them on Facebook. Follow them on Twitter. Fly RFD and celebrate the.
And kudos to our board, by the way. I need to say that our chairman Paul Cicero and the rest of the Rockford Airport board, because I've said to them, and they embrace the concept that Rockford currently today, when I say Rockford, I mean the region, we've lost the luxury of being risk adverse. We have to step out there and take some chances to bring good things to this community and to this region. And I think there's a lot of people doing that right now.
Outstanding. Mike, thanks for your time.